first met Amit quite a few years ago when I walked off the street because I needed a dentist. I wasn't actually in agony, but a bit of my tooth had fallen off and I knew something had to be done. So he fixed it without any demur about how he didn't know me and how he'd got lots of patience, and he was just completely polite and relaxed. He dropped everything and he fixed it in very short order. And I was really pleased, and I have to say that it's my bad, but I went away for another period of time, and then after a year or two I was in a similar situation, walked in, did exactly the same thing and fixed it. And so I was definitely sold on Amit from that point of view. So later on, you know, some teeth he was beginning to realise were getting a bit old and weary, and there were other options. That the first time, one of the tooth that I've just had replaced by an implant, he saved it. He saved it and it lasted. He said, you know, this is a bit touch and go and it might not work, but it lasted for 3 or 4 years after that. Meanwhile, the same tooth on the other side, he said, no, I'm afraid this is done for. It has to come out. And he suggested that I have it replaced by an implant. And of course, when he told me the cost, I went white. But since I trusted him, and I knew he wouldn't have recommended it if there had been any alternative that he could offer, I agreed to go ahead with that. So that was about 2 years ago. And the whole procedure was done over a period of months, which at first seems like a daunting prospect and not something you'd want to sign up for. But on the other hand, when you realise that it is kind of a drastic piece of surgery that's involved here, to know that somebody is going to undertake it and monitor the results and check everything and take it forth through its stages at a reasonable pace. When you realise that, you think, yeah, this guy's a professional and he knows what he's doing and you can trust him. And when all the steps are described, you realise why the cost is like it is, and it is absolutely worth it. Because when he actually did it, I had as little pain and disturbance as possible. That was quite a long procedure. And after I got home, he gave me tablets and said, if it hurts, take Nurofen or whatever it was. And there's a long argy-bargy about how you have to keep it clean and take care of it. You have to take steroids just for a few days and antibiotics for a little bit longer. But he just gave me everything I had to have. He put them in a nice package and gave me clear instructions, did what he said. And I thought I was going to go home and have to take all these Nurofen. I went home, I didn't have to take anything. I've still got about 2-year-old boxes of Nurofen that I never opened because I didn't have any pain at all. And just recently, I had another one done. The tooth that he'd rescued, he said, right, it's gone. You have to do something. He did suggest that I could have had another form of restorative work, root canal treatment. But because of my previous experience with the tooth that he'd replaced with an implant, I said, I want an implant. And that's how it went. And so that's been done quite recently. In fact, the procedure isn't quite complete yet. But once again, he set it up in a very short order, actually. I came to him and I was having this done less than a week later, I think. And what was interesting was that I became part of a trial for a new technique that involves actually putting a camera in your mouth so that the procedure can be monitored in a great amount of detail in real time on a screen, and that makes it, in theory at least, possible to deal with much more serious cases than mine actually was. But I was happy to be involved in that trial and have that interesting experience as well. So I really think of him as working at the cutting edge of what's going on. And I'm very happy. Again, the same sort of procedure happened. I got all the instructions, I got all the tablets I had to take. And after the procedure, I had no pain at all after the anaesthetic wore off. And it was just a smooth and comfortable experience that Amit guided me through in a very diligent and caring manner.